Hi everyone, this is Shantae, aka Shantizi on Twitter and Instagram, or just Shantae. So I'm here with my mini episode of my analysis today on this Thursday, September 10th, 2020. As you know, we're almost 6 months into COVID-19. Tomorrow it will make it us declared as a national response with no national strategy, right? So I have some numbers for COVID. You can check these numbers out on on the John Hopkins website for the whole entire world. In some parts of the states where it's only by county, or you can go to the New York Times COVID map, and they have a pretty exclusive one, but the New York Times COVID map, you can sign up and it's free, okay? So here we are. So in terms of our cases on the global stage, we are at 28 million. Jesus Christ. We've only been at 27 million for about a week. So at 28 million, 54,396 cases of COVID. Our death toll is at 907,980. So the world, the death toll is almost at 1 million for the whole entire world with 188 countries. Hey, my friend from British Columbia. It's a big day in news. Jesus, that's why I'm trying to cover everything at least 30 and 40 minutes. The cases here at home in the U.S., which we account for a fifth of those cases, we are at 6,397,132, almost 6.4, right? With the death toll at 191,769. In the countries with the highest cases, we have India, who's now surpassed Brazil as the second country with the highest cases at 4,465,863. In Brazil, they have 4,238,446 versus at 1,042,836. Peru is at 702,776. Colombia is at 686,851. Mexico is at 652,364. South Africa is at 644,438. Spain is at 554,143. And Latin American countries, Peru is the highest. We have Dominican Republic is at 101,716. Followed by Panama is at 99,715. Guatemala 80,306, and African nations, as you know, South Africa has the highest cases at 644,000. We have Nigeria at 55,829. Ghana at 45,313. Senegal 14,150. And the West Indies, Haiti has 8,429. Jamaica has 3,437. Bahamas has 2,721. Trinidad and Tobago has 2,698. Guyana has 1,750. Barbados has 180. Antigua has 95. St. Vincent has 62. St. Lucia is 27, Grenada is 24, Dominica has moved 2 cases up to 24, and they're on a level 2 travel as UStravel.gov, and St. Kitts is still remaining at 17. And then now, according to the New York Times COVID map, for the states, you have California at 413. Followed by Texas at 677,759, Florida 654,723, New York 446,637, Georgia 272,588, Illinois 258,568, Arizona 207,002, New Jersey 197,203, North Carolina 181,302, and Tennessee rounds up that top 10 with 165,911. So that's what we're going to do. COVID. And as you know, according to the CDC, the only countries that are in level 1 is Fiji, New Zealand, St. Bartholomew, and Thailand. Level 2 is Bermuda, Malaysia, Mongolia, St. Vincent, and like 2 other countries. And the rest of the countries I just listed, I think except Dominica and St. Kitts, because they're nowhere near on these travel lists. The rest of these countries are on level 3. Level 3 is basically non-essential travel. Basically, I think I wrote that here. Avoid non-essential travel. So all these islands and all these other countries and even Europe, they're on that list. You can't go. And they don't even want us in their country. Let's just make that clear. They don't want our black asses or our white asses. They don't want our American asses there. I wouldn't blame them. We're leading. Trump is right. We're leading with the most cases and the most fatalities, whatever you want to call it. And speaking of the bum in the White House, I want to draw to your attention to his lies. If there's a clip, I'm going to pull it up. Because you got to come with your supporting documentation all day, every day, according to this bum in the White House. I'm too poor too, Kenny, to travel. I feel like sometimes I'm too poor to travel up to the Bronx. And my mother and my sister lives in the Bronx and my father. So, and that's only the way. So here we go.
So the fun thing with the serpent is, why is the serpent's pun?
Thank you, Mr. President. Why did you lie to the American people, and why should we trust what you have to say now?
Terrible question. And the phraseology, I didn't lie. What I said is we have to be calm. We can't be panicked. I knew that the tapes these were a series of phone calls that we had, mostly phone calls. And Bob Woodward is somebody that I respect just from hearing the name for many, many years, not knowing too much about his work, not caring about his work. But I thought it would be interesting to talk to him for a period of calls. So we did that. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't even know if the book is good or bad. But certainly if he thought that was a bad statement, he would have reported it because he thinks that, you don't want to have anybody that is going to suffer medically because of some fact. And he didn't report it because he didn't think it was bad. Nobody thought it was bad. Wait a minute. And your question, the way you phrased that is such a disgrace. It's a disgrace to ABC Television Network. It's a disgrace to your employer. And that's the answer. Are you ready? Because I love... For a second.
Deadlier than the flu. And then you went out and told the American public that this was just like the flu.
We've had flu years.
You saw everybody else something else.
No,
Okay, Derek.
times, right? 5 times. You ever hear the expression 5 times? We've had flu years where we lost 100,000 people. The flu is a very serious problem for this country also. And we've been losing them. Scott, what kind of a number have we lost over the years with flus? Into the hundreds of thousands.
Well, I mean, the last 5 years have been something like 35 to 80,000 per year, every year, with antiviral drugs.
Flu is a very serious problem also. But just so you know,
This is worse than the most deadlier than the most strenuous flu.
okay,
And then you went out and said it's just like the flu.
what I went out and said is very simple. Very simple. I want to show a level of confidence, and I want to show strength as a leader, and I want to show that our country is going to be fine one way or the other. Whether we lose one person, we shouldn't lose any, because this shouldn't have happened. This is China's fault. This is nobody's fault but China. China should not have allowed it to happen. Whether you have one person, 180,000 people, or 2.5 or 3 million people, which it could have been very seriously if we didn't make the moves.
So you won't downplay it. You said you downplayed it. That's what you told me.
All I'm doing is, I don't want to jump up and down and start screaming death, death, because that's not what it's about. We have to lead a country. because they possibly have done the best jobs.
The funny thing is, Trump complains about the phraseology.
Okay. So if y'all heard that, they did such a great job. They did a great job with putting us at 6.3 million cases of COVID, almost 6.4 with almost 200,000 deaths. And people die from the flu all the time. This man does not care. I don't need Bob Woodward, and I'm not trying to discredit anybody because I already said in my video, fuck him, fuck his book. What I said is, no one needs a book or a psychiatrist or anybody that worked with him, that formerly worked. Nobody does not need us to educate us on Donald Trump, okay? I don't need education on a man that I knew growing up in this city, the same city that he's from, the same motherfucker who has lied his whole entire life. Am I surprised by these quotes? Hell fucking no. Am I surprised he downplayed this virus? Hell motherfucking no. Okay? And the fact that it was like, I'm being politicized, or this is a disgraceful question. No, a question is a question. The press is supposed to do their job. They're not supposed to cater to your motherfucking ass. Once you're the leader of the free world, because I don't use the P word, once you're a leader of the free world, it's all fair game on you. You will have press that are not for you. There are press that are bipartisan or that's nonpartisan. They do not give a fuck whether you are a good leader or a bad one. They're going to question you. That is part of their fucking job. And kudos to Jonathan Karl for handling that question like a fucking champ. I would have lost my cool on that man. On that old, raggedy man. Okay? Because now he aged. He looked like a lard ass. Like a fat lard ass that eat McDonald's every day. I first heard of him in the 80s and Spy magazines. He's the same fuckhead. Absolutely. I grew up in Manhattan. I grew up in Harlem. I grew up 20 minutes away from his office, which now I live about 10 minutes away from his office, walking distance. 20 minutes riding, and now 10 minutes walking distance from his office. I could tell you, he ain't shit. He never was shit. I even went to school around here before I even moved down here, high school around here. He never talked to people. He's not a people person, and he does not like black people. He never did. And basically, I'm surprised that he's racist. I'm not. I never thought he was a friend of black people. He never was. I never saw him in a black neighborhood embracing black people. Yes, Al Sharpton said he may met with him, but did he meet with you? Did you take him to a tour around the hood? I never saw that man in my neighborhood. I live on 116th and 5th Avenue. I live around the corner from Lenox Avenue. Of those who are New Yorkers that are watching, this man is no friend to black people. I never saw him going to Bed-Stuy. I never saw him going uptown to the Bronx. And if he did, it was about business. And which with that building, that he didn't even go through with that building, and people still had to move out of their apartments. Donald Trump has a bad history doing business with people, not having black people in his buildings, black people working for him. Currently, right now, he has undocumented immigrants working in his hotels. There's the Trump International Hotel down the block from me on 59th Street. Like, are you, like, what? Like, he has a horrible ass motherfucking history. And speaking of him, history, privilege, whatever, according to CNN from the same as motherfucking book, Donald Trump basically dismisses the idea of being white privilege, of benefiting from white privilege. He told Bob Woodward, "You're drinking the Kool-Aid." The Kool-Aid? What motherfucking Kool-Aid? Dude, your whole life you benefited from white privilege. You went to the Wharton School of Business at UPenn. Your ass was so dumb, like you had to have somebody to take your test for you because Because the Wharton School of Business is a prestigious school. And to have someone like your fucking dumbass in that motherfucking school speaks downgrade the school's credibility when I know people that went to that school and they are something right now. Oh, yes, I will be making my tribute to 9/11 tomorrow. I remember that as a kid. But he has no empathy at all. He's a bum. As my father says that bum in the White House, I call him the queen sewage rat, the motherfucker in chief, the dummy in chief. I don't call him Mr. President. I don't call him that because he does not deserve that title. Not at all. Not at all. Okay? So, yeah. But he's a benefit from white privilege. And because of white privilege, he's the reason why he did not serve in jail. As far as I understand. He has not served in jail. Okay? Really hasn't. But who am I? Now I want to get into Killer Mike's ass. Your man, Killer Mike. Your dude be on some shit, yo. Another grifting ass motherfucker. But Black Twitter sure enough dragged that ass. They at time. And where is that? Oh, here we go. So Brian Kemp today tweeted this. Today, Marty and I had a great meeting with @Killer Mike. We discussed how small businesses and the music industry are weathering the pandemic, the value of our skilled trade workers, and our fight to end human trafficking in Georgia. We look forward to seeing him again soon. So let me pull up my thread because I had to let that shit out. Okay? So here we are. On Mr. Killer Mike himself. For those Rose Twitter and aka Socialist Uplifting Killer Mike, he's out there. He's out here meeting with the ops. I don't mean that to be dismissive. I meant for the smoke he had for the Democrat Party, which is true. I tried to hold back on Killer Mike. At this point, he's just another grifting ass rapper or musician, whatever he is, looking for the next set of coins. Instead, he could be helping the mayor of Atlanta with the COVID-19 crisis because the COVID-19 crisis in Atlanta is bad. The overall in Georgia is terrible. And FYI to Mike, the very same man you're meeting with for more money to divest in music, you asked him why the COVID crisis are out of control in Atlanta and the rest of Georgia. Until good night, Killer Mike. That's what we say in New York. Good night. Basically dismissing your ass. Like, you a whole ass motherfucking grifter. You always did some controversy. You always did some motherfucking bullshit. Okay? You always meeting with the ops and giving the ops a chance like Candace Owens. You always giving her ass a chance and never give actual Democrats that's actually doing the work a chance. Okay? You had all this smoke for Kamala, all this smoke for Joe, all this smoke for Pete, all this smoke even for Elizabeth Warren. But you did not have this smoke for motherfuckers like Brian Kemp, who basically cheated the whole motherfucking election, my dude. You didn't have that smoke, right? So now you want to meet with the ops and talk about human trafficking. Well, y'all can't even talk about COVID-19, which y'all almost have 300,000 cases in Georgia. Fulton County and Atlanta has one of the most cases. That in Albany. Y'all could be talking about shit like that, investing more money into PPE. Like, word, Derek, you can. Instead, you motherfuckers is worrying about human trafficking, which I understand human trafficking is a very serious issue. But COVID-19 is just as bad. With COVID-19 on the rise, everything is fucked up. Okay? Everything. as they say down south, everything. Okay? So, that being said, now, after responding, I saw, what's his face, coming after Democrats after he was quote unquote dragged by Black Twitter and by even white people dragged his ass. So Tariq Nasheed, I don't know what the fuck he does. I really can give a fuck. Founder of the Black American FBA, whatever the fuck he is basically ain't shit. It's nothing. Some made up shit. So he had time to say this. So the Democrats are upset with our brother, Killer Mike, for meeting with the Republican governor of Georgia to discuss policies. The Democrats are calling it a quote-unquote photo op. But the Democrats have candidates run around doing photo ops at Black churches and soul food restaurants, caps all the time. So I quoted his tweet and said this: I am not upset, more so disappointed. Georgia has over 260,000 cases, now 272,000 of coronavirus. Instead of taking a look at combating COVID-19, Killer Mike is meeting with him about policy. Not a good look. So watch how you said we're mad. Nobody ain't mad. Period. The ghetto came out of me. So he basically said, are you Caribbean? Nope. I'm African American. Why is that a question? And of course, Elijah Heatherbro, he said, like, what the fuck? That is the best he could do? Yeah. Tariq, is that the fucking best you can do? I even made a video about you because you had nothing else to come with. Because what, you was going to get on me because of my little spelling error here and there, which I typed so fast because I was so upset with your fucking tweet? Absolutely, I was pissed. Because why are you coming after Democrats when you could come after him? Because he's meeting with the ops. Like, literally meeting with the ops. Like, he always got this smoke for Democrats all the time. Tariq Nasheed has no motherfucking platform from what I understand. He's a non-factor ass with a blue check. And I ain't got no problem with people with blue checks. I could really give two fucks on how you get your coins, how you make your next dollar. But when you question somebody's ethnicity and you don't motherfucking know them, watch what the fuck you do. You don't know who the fuck I know. Okay? Worry about actually keeping that fucking notoriety blue check and do something with it than fucking coming for chicks like me. Because I can be that gutter bitch. I'm not a street one, but I got some hood in me. Harlem has never left my body. Just because I live on the Upper West Side, it can get real ghetto real quick. You don't want to fuck with a bitch like me. So, Tyreek, as we say in the hood, white people say Tariq, I said Tyreek. Watch how you coming for people's race. Stop assuming the motherfucking shits. And Black immigrants are Black. They were slaves too. It's called the African diaspora. It's called the slave trade, bitch. Okay? Stop motherfucking coming for people. Stop. And that's all. Now on the lighter note, Kamala Harris was in Miami today. And she met with the mayor, one of the mayors. She also met with including Frederica Wilson, who was there, and who else? One of the HBCU presidents, couldn't get the name. Also, thank you. Also, who else? with some small business owners to discuss about issues with the Black community, such as, home ownership. What else? Education, investing more money into HBCUs, the small businesses like the PPEs, and how the Biden and Harris administration will build back better. It was a great it was a great session, and I am very happy that Joe Biden picked her. She was the best thing since pie. I was for her for president, and obviously that did not happen. But I'm glad she's going to be serving as the vice president. That's why we have to organize and mobilize. Some of us don't have time to volunteer. Like, I don't have time because school is hampering my life, and work is going to be hampering my life pretty soon. And I'm only going to be able to do these after the time, really late at night. But however, I want to donate something, at least if it's $5 a week or $5 every 2 weeks, until I really get a secure job. It's important that we must elect them. They have to be elected, and not just to save our country. These are people that can lead us to progress. Our climate is, you see with the wildfires in California, the floods in D.C., the strange, unusual weathers that's been happening for the last 3 years, the polar vortexes, which is so freaking weird. Whoever said we was going to have a polar vortex in the 21st century, everything doesn't seem to be, yeah. So therefore, as I said, we have to elect them. There will be the progressive change for this country. They will be the most progressive administration, not just Bernie. Even though Bernie may serve in the administration, because him and Joe Biden are friends. Like I tell people, him and Joe Biden are friends. He's going to be in Joe Biden's administration. That's just like without a doubt. And even Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar possibly, and Pete Buttigieg and Andrew Yang, and I hope Jay Inslee is in that administration too for the EPA, because the climate crisis is out of control. And who else? And Beto O'Rourke, he's going to have a job. All these people are going to have jobs. I hate Brad, but they're all going to have jobs. Most of them. Like a good portion. Possibly Cory Booker, but who knows if he wants to give up his Senate seat. But either way, this is going to be the most progressive administration. So that's why we got to make sure we got to get them in. Not worry about these degenerates like Ryan, Ryan Knight, who I dragged yesterday. And if he does his bullshit again, I'm going to make sure his ass will remind that he's not an ally. Okay? He's not an ally to us. Period. And I hope, yes, because we need to be respected in this world, because Canada is our next door neighbor. I want to go to Toronto without being looked at crazy because I'm an American. Because of the bum in the White House. Trump is not an ally, period. We all know that. Pence is not an ally, period. We all know that. They mishandling COVID. We all know that. They fucked up the economy. We know that, period. So what we have to do is get them get the Biden and Harris ticket in that White House, period. But until then, folks, you will have a good night. Happy Friday, which is about to turn soon. And